Yes, guys, I've been lying. To be honest, I've been lying about a lot. It is high time I tell you the whole truth about my migration to Canada. If you want to know about the whole truth, please stick to the end of this video. I'm tired. Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sophia, aka NnukwuAda. I'm a content creator based in Canada, and on my channel, I talk about different tips and tricks of how to migrate to Canada using the various pathways that are available. So, on today's video, it is going to be very interesting. So I'm going to talk about how my husband migrated to Canada. This is something that people have been asking me about for a very long time. And I've been procrastinating it, but now I have to do it because every day I get messages on my channel, it's about this. So I'm going to talk about this, and I'm also going to answer a few of your questions that I can answer. The ones I cannot answer, actually, I'm going to spill or roll over to the next video. So before I dive into the video, I always say my disclaimer: I am not an immigration lawyer. I am not a licensed immigration personnel. I am not affiliated with RICC in any way. I am just a content creator that shares information that I come across in Canada to people that would like to do this whole process on their own, because of course not everybody can afford an agent. But if you can afford an agent, it's a great option, because like I always say on my channel, I personally used an agent. I'm not going to lie to you guys or become one of those people that will tell you, oh, I did it by myself. I did not do it by myself. Yeah. So I'm going to be starting with how my husband was able to migrate with me to Canada. So like you all know, and I've mentioned in my previous video, I came to Canada on a study visa. I am a student currently enrolled in a program in one of the prestigious colleges in Canada. I give it your keypad. So initially I was meant to come alone. Yes, that was like our first option, but subsequently, after discussing with my agent, she's very detailed and very thorough. This is not an advert, but she's good. Yes, she's very good. If you use her, you'll come back and tell me. So we had a discussion with her, and after we discussed earlier with her that I was going to come alone, so she still opted out that my husband can still come with me, but with a visitor's visa. My visa application, we did the document gathering and everything, all the necessary documents. If you would like to know the documents that I used, you can comment down below, and when I get enough comments about that, I will shoot another separate video for it. I don't want to make this video elongated or very long or something. So we did my whole document gathering. After everything, I applied. My husband also applied on a visitor's visa. My own visa came out early. It came out early because, you know, when you're doing a student visa, you have to submit all the necessary documents. You submit the medicals and everything you need at once. But my husband just did his own documents without the medicals, because at that point it was really not necessary. You could hear from different people that, oh, they were not asked for their medical since they are going on a visitor's visa, and we on that visitor's visa, it can range from 3 to 6 months max. So it's not really necessary to provide your medical details at that point. So for some odd reason, they asked my husband to provide his own, which we eventually went and updated it after running the whole medicals and updating it. Then after that, my own application took less than a month. It was 3 weeks and like few days. It was not properly a month, while my husband's own was a month and few days, because of course they requested for his medical report, which took extra days for them to continue and everything. But the whole process was seamless. It was smooth. There was not any hitch or anything. Maybe because we used an experienced agent, because of course I know there are false agents out there that are disguising as RICC staff and doing all the whole cut and join story for people, which is another story for another day I'll talk about. So after the application, it came out. we got our visas, and then my section was meant to be in September, and then my our visas came out on time, so we had enough time in Nigeria to spend with our families, said our goodbyes, and then we moved down to Canada. So mind you, my husband was on a visitor visa. Immediately I came to Canada at my point of entry, I was able to get my study permit and every necessary documents, but my husband couldn't get it at that point because when he was being asked, we said he was going to stay for like a few period of time here, which was the initial plan. So when he came down, when we relaxed and we settled down, and after doing our whole family meeting, personal discussions with my agents and everything, we opted out to still stay back with me, of course. So we, from advice from my agent, again, I'm going to be using my agents. So please bear with me that we can still convert his visitor's visa to a open work permit, because of course, once your spouse is on a student visa or a study permit in Canada or a student visa, the spouse, which is the husband or the wife, depending on the person that is in school, can apply for a study permit. It's their right. If you go through the RICC website, go there, check, you'll see. So there's nothing wrong with that. So we flagpolled. For those of you that don't know what flagpolling is leaving a particular country and re-entering back into the country. So we all know shares a border with US. So we went to the nearest port of entry, which was at Niagara. And at Niagara, we have the Rainbow Bridge and different other entries there in Canada. So we took the foot pathway from Niagara to US, got the refusal slip, which is a document they are meant to give you, and then we came back to Canada, and then we went to see the immigrations there, and then after much questions, we paid a fee. I think it was 150 or 200 thereabouts. There's a fee you're meant to pay for the permit. It's not free actually. So he was able to convert to his open work permit. So currently he's on his open work permit, and the validity of the permit is the same with my own. So whenever my own expires, that's when his own expires. So that's just it. I'm not going to go into the whole details of flagpolling. It's not related to this video. If you want to know about flagpolling, you can also write a comment about that, and I'll shoot and explain everything about flagpolling. So this is just how my husband was able to convert. So converting to it was actually easy because I was already a student with my student permit. So I had to take my student permit with me. I took my admission letter and so many other documents that my agent requested that I go with. She gave me a list of documents that I will take there. And luckily for me, all those documents were requested by the officer. So imagine a situation that I didn't take those documents. It would have been another story for another day. So I'm going to give you the list of documents that we used for him to convert. Please, disclaimer, this video is not for you to get an LMIA. I am talking about how my husband was able to convert, because I was already on a study permit. It is easier for a spouse to convert for an open work permit because your spouse is schooling, right? So if you don't have anybody that is schooling and you're on a visitor's visa, I don't know how you're going to do about that one. Really, I don't have much information about that one, though I'm still gathering information about the whole NMIA and everything to convert. We know what NMIA is. I talked about it in one of my previous videos. So you can actually convert with this. So that being said, I'm going to go through my channel and check for some questions that was being asked by some of my subscribers, and I'll try to answer them as much as possible. She said, okay, she actually asked 3 questions, so I might just pick 1 or 2 out of it. Okay, hi, I'm a Nigerian, but they're asking me to pay 150 for application fee, while the application on their website is showing 100. So most of these colleges work directly with agents. I know there are some colleges that you cannot apply to directly without an agent. Yes, some of those schools exist. So when you apply with an agent, you can be entitled to some discounts actually. That's the sad truth. But if you're doing it alone, you might be required to pay the full amount. Do you get? So you need to find out if the $100 they are charging you for is when you're applying with an agent, and if the 150 is when you're not applying with an agent, these are things that you need to know. And you actually send a mail to the school to verify you're paying the 150 when it's stated on their website that it's $100. Be in the best position to give you the answer you're looking for. So because of course mine is speculation. The person said, please I need, and the next person said, please I need an agent that can help me. Is it possible to link me with the agent that helped you? Of course it is possible to link you with the agent that helped me. That's not an issue. Kindly send me an email and I will send you an email about the details of the agents that I use. Yes. This person said, do you live in Calgary, Alberta? No, I don't live in Calgary, Alberta. I am currently in Mississauga, Ontario. That is where I am. The next question is, nice content. Please, can you make a video detailing the process your husband went through to get his visitor's visa? So actually, I've answered this already. The next one said, please, what visa did your husband apply for since both of you left together? Is it visiting visa or open work permit? Like I said again, my husband applied for a visitor's visa. Yes. And from the visitor's visa, when he came here, we were able to flagpole and convert it to an open work permit. So the next question is, okay, he said, thanks for the information. It's very useful. You have gotten a subscriber. Thank you so much. The next one is, person said, thank you for the information. I just subscribed to your channel. Please, can I have a sample of your study plan and how long was your proof of funds before visa application? So the truth is, I can't give you my study plan because it was drafted by me. Though, like, my agent gave me some pointers I used to draw up the study plan. So why people don't give out their study plan is because it is meant to be distinct. It's meant to be different. Me and you are two different people, right? So what I might say will always be different from what you will say because everybody is different. So the idea of a study plan is to come up in your own words, in your own idea. You have to sit down and come up with your study plan. If I give you mine, you're not speaking in your own voice, you're speaking in my own voice. And I know that you're going to tell me, of course, I'm not going to say what you're going to say, I'm going to paraphrase it, I'm going to do all that. Don't worry. Draw up your own distinct study plan. You can send me an email. I could check for some of them online for you, or you can just okay for you not to get the study plan the first time, because I did my own like up to 4 times. I did the first one, she said, oh, it was not enough. I did the second one, she said, oh, you're missing out this point. I did the third one, and it was back and forth, but I finally got it on the first trial, so it was not that easy. So please, I hope this answers your question. And then you asked about my proof of funds before my visa application. How long was it there? So basically my proof of funds has always been in my account. So it has just been in the account for a long, it has been there ever since. It's not like I kept it for a duration of time. The account has had the proof of funds for the longest time I think about. It's just like every day you do your business, you're being paid, so the money is always in the account and stuff like that. So if that's what you're trying to ask, but if you're asking about the other, you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't want to talk about it here on the channel so that I won't cast it. So if it's the other one you're talking about, no, I didn't use that method. I actually had my proof of funds in my account for the longest period of time, like from inception, that I knew that I wanted to migrate. It has always been in my account for a while. But if you want to use that method, actually your proof of funds has to be in your account. I think from people's story I've heard, they said from 3 months before your application or 4 months for the application or something like that. So that's it. This question is, so I can't really answer this question now because I have to take a look at the video that what he meant by this comment. The person didn't really specify what he meant, so I can't answer it at this time. So probably if I do another question and answer video like this, I'll be able to answer the question. So my apologies if you're watching this video. The next question is, I'm coming in as an international student and my family is coming with me to stay with me during my length of stay. though they are with a visitor's visa. So do they need to return? Yes, if you're coming in with a visitor's visa, after, like I said earlier, the visitor's visa is 3 to 6 months. So you have to return to your country on or before 6 months, except they are able to convert to. If you're the one studying as a woman, your husband has to convert just the way my husband did. If it's your husband, it's the same thing. You have to convert. So you have to convert. You cannot be allowed to stay in Canada with a visitor's visa for more than 6 months. It is not allowed. So you have to return back. If you're not able to convert, you will have to go back before the expiration of your visa. It's your choice. If you want to stay, feel free to stay, but just know that you will not be able to come back to Canada. Yes. So I hope this answers your question. um I think I even responded to the person. I said yes, it's mandatory if you're on a visitor's visa. So the next question is, did your husband book a return ticket? Yes, my husband booked a return ticket, because like we all know, if you're coming to Canada on a visitor's visa, you have to always book your return ticket. You can't come with a one-way ticket. If you're coming on a study permit and other if you're coming on a study visa and PR and other ones, you can do your one-way ticket. I personally came with a one-way ticket, but with my husband, he had to book a return ticket. Yes, it's compulsory, because they are going to ask you. Even from Nigerian airports, they will ask you about it. When you get to Egypt, you might be asked to pull up your return ticket. This is something that they ask nowadays. If you get to Canadian port of entry too, you'll be asked for this, and they'll want to see it. It's not about you telling them, oh, I booked for it. They will ask you to show them like evidence of you booking for this. So the next question is, please talk about PhD sponsorship and assistantship in engineering course in Canada. Okay, noted. I'm going to talk about it. I will do more research about this and I'll shoot a video about it. So, but just to know, if you're coming to study engineering and all this, like, it's a very good course. I talked about the STEM program in my previous video, which is the science, technology, and engineering and mathematics. These are like the hottest job opportunities in Canada now. Once you study these courses, you'll be able to get more job offers with these courses, because they are in high demand. Even if you're going through the PR pathway, you also see that most of the jobs they are doing are either for people that fall under this category, and it's quite faster, and there are lots of opportunity in this. So if you want to do this in Canada, it's actually a great job. I'm going to give you a thumbs up for this. So the next one is, let me just answer the last question. This person said, thank you for sharing this. Please, can you shed your light about the number of days you cannot stay outside school in Canada? Status in Canada and eligibility to stay. This is from the RICC website. You're considered to be maintaining your student status and can stay in Canada for up to 150 days. No immediate action is necessary if you be on gap for less than 150 days or before your study permit expires. So you cannot stay outside school for 150 days as an international student. I am not talking about 150 days at once. That means you will now travel and stay like 4 months and say, oh, it's not up to 150. No, as an international student, you also take in account those holidays that we're given in school. Like currently now, we have the Xmas holiday that is coming up soon, which is 2 weeks for the Christmas and New Year. So if you calculate those 2 days already, it is 14 days minus 150 days, right? So when you now go for the other break, which is the longest break, which will be in April, I think that's the summer break. That's about 3 months or so. When you take in account of that one plus this one that you're being given already, you find out that you're even stayed close to the 150 days. But of course, that's the break period. That's why they increased it to 150, so that it will accommodate those break periods, that those breaks and everything from school. Those ones are they are recognized, they are legally recognized, those breaks of school. But if you take extra periods of school, probably you stop school to go and get a job and start working full time, when you cannot work full-time as an international student. All this will affect you. It might not affect you now. It's when you're done schooling and you want to apply for your postgraduate work permit. All these things they'll take in account, like they are watching you. So you cannot spend 150 days outside school. Hope this answers your question. So back, person said what questions my husband was asked when he was entering Canada. Well, this is not something I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to wrap it up here. Answer this at my point of entry question. So you can also refer to that video and see the questions that was being asked. So this person said, why are you lying now? All universities require application fee. Well, some universities in Canada doesn't really require an application fee. Yes, you can take this word to the bank. Not all universities require, but there are special requirements for you to meet up with this. Some will even give you discounts on those application fees. Some schools don't even accept application fee. There are schools that don't accept application fee, and yes, those schools exist. So you should always do your research. Take time to do research for putting out content. I don't just sit down and shoot videos here without having proof or evidence of what I'm saying. I always make my research before shooting out content. And about positivity, help people that want to do this whole application on their own. So thank you so much. If you've watched to the end of this video, thank you so much for the love on the channel. And yes guys, we have officially climbed the 600 subscribers mark. It cannot be possible without you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for dropping your comments. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. I get all your emails, and trust me, I try as much as possible to respond to the ones I can respond to, but you know it's not easy. It's just me. So all I can take on today's episode. Yep. So you can always drop your questions. My free time, I will do a sit down question and answer video like this. So thank you so much. Until next time, goodbye.